these little harmless, low stakes, uncomfortable things make us better at the uncomfortable things that are higher stakes or that we can't control.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our show where purpose meets prosperity. I'm your host, Julie Getzinger, and this show was created to inspire you to follow your path of purpose so you can enjoy a life of freedom and prosperity. Today on the show, we have a special guest, Anne Bonney, joining us. Hi, Anne. So excited to have Anne here. Let me share a little bit about her before we jump into the interview. Anne Bonney is a fun, energetic, international keynote speaker and courage igniter. She is an authority on change management, two-time author, host, and creator of Dancing in the Discomfort Zone podcast. She's an experienced virtual and in-person presenter. After 20 years in highly successful corporate and nonprofit leadership positions, Anne now uses her experience, education, and expertise to ignite your courage to build resilience and change, take on difficult communication, and thrive with emotional intelligence. And I know Anne personally because we were in a business mastermind together and became great friends. And I've gotten to see her just grow so much. And she is such an incredible person, like such powerful energy to ignite people and just such a genuine, loving person too. So I'm so excited to do this interview today. Welcome, Anne.
It's great to be here. I don't want to say anything else to ruin that great intro. So it's great to be here, everybody. Thanks for...
Yes. So, Anne, I would love to start with just how did you get to this place of success where you're at now? Anne was just asked to be the MC for NSA's Thrive Winter Workshop, which is a really big deal in our industry. And actually, I had a friend reach out and she was like, Anne Bonney's the MC. I'm so excited. And I was like, oh, I know Anne. She's one of my friends and she's a superstar because she is. And I would love to just backtrack a little bit. How did you get here? I know you've shared with me, you've had some different jobs and things that have funded your journey, but I would love to just back up a little bit and just have you share, how did you get to where you are now?
I paid a lot of people a lot of money. No, it all started on a rainy day in July in 1970. I've been through a lot of change. I grew up overseas. I went to a performing arts boarding school. So I was indoctrinated into change and discomfort very early and upheaval in a really positive way. You know, it's funny. I think about what kind of has given me the wings to be able to do all the things that I've done. I've always had that foundation. I have an amazing family. My parents are awesome. My brother's fantastic. And there's never been a question that I've had that foundation to fall back on in all of the upheaval that I've dealt with. So I've always had this drive to do things and change things and make things better, even though it's uncomfortable and all of that stuff. I started out my career as a special needs teacher. I taught K through 4 kids with emotional disabilities and behavioral disorders. And then I decided I wanted to be an animal trainer. I had actually wanted to be an animal trainer my whole life, but I didn't realize what the job was. I thought I wanted to be a vet. And then I realized that like vets deal with animals on their worst days. And that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted like a cool partnership with the animals. And then we went to SeaWorld and I realized that's what I wanted to do. So I went and trained animals for a little while, trained seals and sea lions at the aquarium in Boston, and then moved to Arizona where there's no water. So I worked with birds of prey, honing kind of my performance skills and my education skills on topics other than literal education. Then I got divorced and decided I needed a big kid job and worked for Under Armour for about 9-10 years and helped them launch the running shoes and go public and go global and all the things. It was an amazing time to help that brand become a thing. But that was my first foray into business. Then worked for a group exercise company out of New Zealand, then got a job in New York City running a quarter of a massive gym chain, running their whole group exercise program. And it was sitting in this beautiful office in Manhattan with the corporate credit card and all the view. And I hated my life. I was miserable. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't feel like I could make a difference. And I kept telling myself that this was the job you've worked for. This is the big New York City job. You've got the title. Everybody looks up to you. And I hated it. And I remember the day I said to myself, you're 42, maybe this is it. And it was that moment that I was like, nope. And I saw an ad on Facebook for the John Maxwell team. And they teach you leadership, training and they teach you coaching and they teach you public speaking. And I was like, wait a minute. I can make a business out of talking and having people watch me. I mean, like this I've ever done. I've performed, I taught group exercise, I taught kids, I trained animals in front of people. And this was the culmination of everything that I had learned along the way. I always say that I put my furniture and my ego in storage and I moved in with my parents' basement at 42 years old and started all over again. And took about 3 or 4 years to get this business off the ground. I worked at the Olive Garden and I dressed male mannequins.
I love that job. That's my favorite of what you did.
A crazy tie. I did what I needed to do and it was uncomfortable. I remember sitting in my parents' basement trying to get this business going, saying, who am I now? I don't have this Manhattan office. I don't have a business card that people look up to. I'm not all fancy pants. Nobody knows who the heck I am anymore. It was this drive to help people embrace discomfort and deal with change because it's everywhere, especially now, that drove me to stick with it and to leave my ego in storage and do what I needed to do to make this thing a success. So that's the long version.
Wow, I love it. It's so good. And I can just feel your energy like vibrating through the computer and just like, boom, boom, boom. Like you just have such beautiful, happy, confident energy. And that's something that's drawn me to you right away, is just your vibrancy and your confidence, and people feel good in your presence. I just feel like you're such an uplifter, and we need people like you in the world, around people, because our world is in a lot of pain and there's a lot of things going on. And I would love to hear more about that confidence that you have. Is that something we hear, like you have to fake it till you make it? Or is that something that you think you have because you had such a supportive foundation as you talk about? Or is it something, a choice that you choose to be this confident?
I think it's 3 things. It's never just one thing, right? I think I was born just a bit of a bulldozer. I kind of just do stuff. I think I was born with just a happy disposition and this kind of snow plow, for those of you up north, of a personality. So I think part of it was genetic. Then part of it was my amazing family. I mean, to the extended family, I always feel like I'll have a net. Fortunately, I haven't needed it, but it's there if I need it, and it's still there. And that love and that support has led me to believe that I can do whatever I want to do. Not that I'll need rescuing, but for some reason that just builds confidence. And the third thing I think is the fact that I have embraced so much discomfort. Growing up overseas, I was in cultures that are completely different than the United States. I didn't speak the language. When you're internationally traveling, there's a lot of discomfort just based on you get stuck in an airport or your flight gets canceled and you end up having to figure it out. So I think that those 3 things have led me to a level of perspective on discomfort that helps me not get stuck in it. It's not a stop sign. It's just a speed bump. So I think that those 3 things have come together. But that third one, as people are like, I don't have a great family. I didn't go through all that change. I wasn't born this person. One of the things that they found at University of Michigan was the more that we deal with uncomfortable things, the better we are at it. It's like a muscle. So even if you don't have that genetic background and you don't have that supportive foundation, the more you embrace uncomfortable things, and maybe that's just taking a different route to work or going to a networking event, because good Lord, they're awkward and uncomfortable, right? Just doing these little harmless, low stakes, uncomfortable things make us better at the uncomfortable things that are higher stakes or that we can't control. So if you don't have those first 2 things that I listed, don't lose hope. That third one is very powerful.
So good. So good. Are you ready to break through to the next level of success in your business? If so, you'll want to check out our Abundance Breakthrough Retreat. You can expect to leave our retreat with a supported belief system, knowing that you can enjoy a life of absolute freedom and abundance, a more clear understanding of your divine mission and path of purpose, a 90-day action plan to meet your specific business goals, and a supportive community that will cheer you on every step of the way. Following our retreat, we'll have the opportunity to join our Free to Fly program to receive ongoing business, mindset, and personal life support. Check out what Kay had to say about our retreat. Julie knows how to get to the heart of what's getting in her way using deep intuitive guidance. She has helped me tell my clients the truth about how they bring their magic and must do the work to see the results. Julie's approach is fun, direct, and a noble style that brings intuitive coaching to a whole new level. Since participating in our Abundance Breakthrough program last year, my business income increased last year by 67%. Thank you, Julie. Kay Lowfrey, licensed nutritionist. To learn more, go to juliegetzinger.com or set up a complimentary call with her by going to the link below. And what do you say to that person who might be sitting in that office and has the company credit card and has everything that she thought she was supposed to want and she's miserable inside? What action steps can she take at where she is now? What would you say to her?
Step one is really just assessing where are you and what are the goals? Where do you want to be? And then looking at what are the responsibilities? Because undoubtedly we have bills, we have kids we need to take care of, we have responsibilities that we need to uphold. And so saying, okay, cool, I understand where I want to be. What are my responsibilities? And how can I take steps to get where I want to be while still upholding those responsibilities? Moving into discomfort and a little bit of sacrifice, maybe what you need to do. So it's really looking at your definition of success and not everybody else's. Me going, I almost have a master's degree at 42 years old, had years of experience in the corporate world. Going to work for Olive Garden I never thought I'd work in a restaurant again. Mm-hmm. But bottom line is, it was the sacrifice I needed to get me to where I wanted to be. And it was totally worth it. So I, again, set my ego aside and looked at those steps that I needed to take to get to where I wanted to be. And it wasn't comfortable. And I didn't want to do it all the time. But now that I'm on the other side, it's going pretty well.
Yeah. And then that momentum just keeps moving. I think there's also a perception that once people are successful, as we deem it, like maybe they get a lot of speaking gigs or they're making a lot of money or they've got their partner, whatever we define success as, there's still never like I made it feeling, right? It's still like, can you talk a little bit about that? When others think you've made it and like, oh, she's good, she's got all this, must be nice for her. What's it really like?
This is something that I've been thinking about a lot lately, that in life, there is no destination. It's up and down and up and down and up and down. We talk about me being a happy, confident person. I have really depressing, unconfident times. In fact, from September to November of last year was really tough for me because I came to the point where it was time to level up, not level off. I had leveled up, and it was time to level up. And I hit that step and I was like, crap, it's time to get uncomfortable again. It's time to keep growing. And even that, there are downtimes. I didn't have a whole lot of business booked for December. So coming into January, I was like, I hope it wasn't a fluke. So there is no destination. It's always looking at what can I do now and how else can I solve this for today? Relying on how we've always done it, especially these days, doesn't work anymore. And when we do that, we're not engaging our brain. We're not thinking. We're not problem solving. We're just going on habit, which sometimes works, but a lot of times it doesn't. And so even if you see somebody who's made it, we're trembling in our boots that it's not going to last too. It's just keep doing the next right thing and keep moving forward and keep thinking and strategizing and hoping. And drinking a lot of water because hydration is important.
I thought you were going to say drinking wine.
Well, I stopped drinking last year. So.
I drink a lot of alcohol.
That's one strategy.
Oh, there's so many good things in what you said. Everything that you said was just so good. I want to come back to why are people so uncomfortable with change? Not everybody is like you, that they're a bulldozer. Most people aren't. Why are they so afraid of change?
Our brain, it's natural, actually. I'm an anomaly and a dangerous anomaly for my brain. Our brains are built to keep us alive. Okay, that's the function of the little gray thing. And any change or any unknown, your brain sees as dangerous. Your brain sees as, this could go really badly. Stop now, protect yourself. And so this resistance we feel to change, to unknowns, is completely natural and serves a great biological function. But your brain never got the upgrade. I talked to an IT guy on my own podcast recently, and he says, we're dealing with 21st century challenges with a really old hardware. It hasn't gotten the upgrade that a little bit of discomfort isn't life-threatening these days. So your brain doesn't know the difference between getting chased by a saber-toothed tiger and having a tough conversation. So the key is that we recognize discomfort. I think I said this earlier, it shouldn't be a stop sign. It's just a speed bump. It's just one of those things to make us look around and go, okay, cool. I need to think about this. All right, we're good. Yeah, this is uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm scared it won't go well. And I've thought it through. I've done hard things before. Here we go.
Beautiful. Yeah. And do you believe in choosing something that takes you out of your comfort zone every day? I have a journal that I do, and every day he's like, okay, what are you going to do today that's out of your comfort zone? Can I just be freaking comfortable for one fucking day? Like, why? It's like so annoying. And I write in my journal, I'm like, today I'm choosing comfort. Okay. Do you believe that we should be uncomfortable every single day?
Getting uncomfortable doesn't necessarily mean something giant. In November, I went to a 10-day silent meditation retreat. We did not talk for 10 days. I meditated for 10 hours a day for 10 days. Yeah, don't do that.
I can't see you
often.
doing it. I can't see you doing that. Like you would like
Shut
explode.
It up at all, let alone for 10 days. No, but I mean, so often when we think about get uncomfortable every day, we think it has to be this massive catastrophic thing. Sometimes it's a little thing. Like I got up a little earlier to work out this morning. I did not want to. I got out of my comfort zone. That counts. Going to a networking event, introducing yourself. I did a podcast earlier for a place I'm speaking at in May, and that was uncomfortable. So count the little things, take a different route to work to count those little things. And if you count the little things, then yes, I think we all do get out of our comfort zone. Recognizing it helps us strengthen that muscle.
Beautiful. And what would you say to people who struggle with self-doubt? Because that is a big part of change and discomfort is like doubting yourself. Maybe you don't have a family that supports you, or maybe your spouse doesn't support you, or you're up against a lot. And then you're like, maybe they're right. Maybe I should just stay in this job. Maybe I shouldn't go for that speaking career. What would you say to help with overcoming self-doubt?
Yeah, I think self-doubt is part of having a human brain. And then you add experience and lack of support on top of it, and it becomes a very loud voice. One of the things I like to do is make a list of things you've accomplished, things you've overcome. We don't live in a very self-congratulatory society, so this isn't something that is comfortable. So this could be your thing to get out of your comfort zone today. But make a list of all those things you've overcome, that you've accomplished, that you've done. And you don't have to show it to anybody. You're not going to be like, oh my God, Julie, I am the best parallel parker and you should taste my meatloaf, right? But keep that list nearby. So when that voice of doubt starts squawking, remind yourself of all the things you have done and that you have overcome. Then look at who has done those things before. People have, or things that are similar, and say, why not? I can do this. And also looking at what happens if it goes badly, because it might. If you try the thing, it might go badly. And oftentimes, once we verbalize what could go wrong if it goes badly, if it doesn't go the way we want it to, we realize, well, that wouldn't be so bad. If I applied for a job and they said no, I'm cool. I'm gonna have pizza that night. It's not a thing. So by considering all the things that you've accomplished, looking at people who've accomplished the things you have, and then looking at the consequences if it doesn't go well, oftentimes at that point, you're like, yeah, we're good. Let's do this.
I love it so much. And what do you have coming up next? Where can people come see you or hear you?
Dancing in the Discomfort Zone podcast is always there. I've got 2 books, Get Over It and Get Them Over It. Get Over It is for individuals dealing with change. And I've got some flack about that title. People are like, well, that's not very nice to tell them to go get over it. And I'm like, but wouldn't we like to get over it? I'd love to get over resistance to change and all the stress that it causes. And so here's a book with some tips to help you get over it. I'm saying, hey, let's get over it, because that would be really nice, wouldn't it? So anyway, now we know the title of the book. As far as speaking, I am emceeing, because I'm emceeing as well these days at the Thrive Conference. So if there are any speakers out there, you can come to that. And most of the other events I'm speaking at are private associations or private companies. But I'm actually I think it's April 16th. I'll be in your area. I'll be in Linthicum in the in the Baltimore area for a women's empowerment conference. So
I am there. Hell yeah.
Awesome. It's the 17th.
Of which month?
And it's hwhsummit.com. It's Health, Wealth, and Happiness Summit. Who doesn't want all that?
Oh, that's right up my alley.
So yeah, Health, Wealth, and Happiness Summit in Linthicum, Maryland, which is right near Baltimore. It's right near the airport too. So you could just jump on a plane, come on over, and I'll see you there.
Are you emceeing that one?
I'm emceeing and doing the closing talk / facilitated activity.
Wow.
So you can see me all day.
Wow. And I have to ask just selfishly for myself because I'm getting into speaking more. What do you say to the emerging speakers? What's the best way to just get out there and get started more with paid speaking opportunities?
Yeah, just keep putting yourself out there. Getting started is hard, but once you get some momentum, it's great. The biggest thing that I think can help brand new speakers is to make sure your speech is very referable. As you're on stage, I always strive to have people in the audience going, oh my gosh, I need this at my company, or I got to tell Sue about this because she was having this challenge with her people. Because when people refer you for other events, that is such the best way to get gigs because they already love you and want you. So that's one of the things. The Referable Speaker is a fantastic book by Michael Port. Andrew Davis is the other author of that.
Okay.
That book is phenomenal in helping you create those stage side leads that help you build that momentum.
Beautiful. Awesome. And I will have all of Anne's links in the description box below. So you'll be able to follow her and stay in touch with her and go to some of these events. Hopefully I'll see you at the one in Linthicum. And thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. And I'm so excited with all of your success, and just watching you grow has been so much fun. So thank you for agreeing to be here on our show.
It was awesome to be here. Thanks, Julie. And I love you too.
Thank you. Awesome. Bye, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please consider liking it. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, go ahead and do that now. If you know of anybody else who could benefit from watching this video, share it with them too. And thanks for being here. I hope to see you soon. Bye.